guys have got a whole lot of other things going on. So before we jump to that, I'd like to know what I was pulled over for.
I told you you're stopped for expired tires. Okay, additionally, the registered owner of the vehicle is suspended. It appeared to look similar to you based off the picture I pulled up before I stopped you. But in and of itself, I can stop you if the registered owner of the vehicle is suspended and the description would match. Additionally, you have a light housing on the back here that's broken. I didn't notify you that that's why I stopped you, because I was primarily just stopping you for the tag. I mean, we can point at things, but I don't want to nitpick with you. I don't want to argue with you. Okay, this is kind of what we're going to do. You're obviously very familiar with the courts. You referenced the Supreme Court earlier in the stop. Okay, so you know that that's the place to argue this stuff. So at this point, that's why you're under arrest. Okay, so we're going to ask that you step out. We don't want an argument with you. We don't want any altercation.
What are you going to do with my car?
So your car, so you were convicted of driving while suspended recently. So
you have no insurance on the vehicle.
You guys have no legal right to tow it.
Okay, again, you can argue that in court.
But I'm talking to you now.
Okay, this isn't the place for these arguments, okay, ma'am? So I'm going to ask you to go ahead and step out of the vehicle, and if you refuse
I will
to...
step out of the vehicle. However, the U.S. Supreme Court has already ruled that a vehicle is a household effect.
Okay.
Therefore, you have no right to tow it.
Okay, again, you can argue that in court. You can argue that, you can file lawsuits, you can do what you like.
So,
okay?
in other words, what you're saying, Chief, is that you don't care
get him on the camera.
that you are stomping all over my constitutional rights.
What I care about is this is my job, okay? I am educated, and I'm informed, and I get the training on laws and court rulings.
But that does not mean that you know all the laws.
Okay.
And that does not mean that you are kept up to date on the U.S. Supreme Court's rulings.
Right. So I'm pretty kept up to date. And again, if I'm wrong, I'll eat crow later. Okay. But this isn't the place for it.
Eating crow later is not going to help me.
Okay. Well, it might. So, go, ma'am. Go ahead and step out of the vehicle. You are under arrest.
You guys are taking something that you have no legal right to take.
Again, not the place for the argument.
I have not even said that I'm going to tow it yet, but we need you to step out now so we can get you in custody safely, and then we'll go from there. So please face that way. Face that way, and put your hands behind your back.
Ow!
Okay.
Would you please be gentle? I have a right shoulder injury, so
Chief,
please
hold
be
this
gentle.
on. We'll put some sets of cuff on you.
And please do not pull my arms out.
We're going to do our very best. I'm only limited by these two cuffs.
Too high.
It'd be a little better if you were able to hold a little more.